We will now call the legislation meeting together for 2-2-2-2-2, whatever, how many twos today. And Sharita, please call the roll.
Alderman Boyd,
Present.
Alderwoman Davis,
Present.
Alderman Bacoro,
Present.
Alderman Coder.
Here.
Alderwoman Boyd. Alderman Muhammad. Alderman Oldenburg.
Did you call me? I'm here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alderman Oldenburg.
Present.
Alderwoman Martin. Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Present.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. Alderman Baum.
Present.
8 present, you have quorum.
All right, thank you very much, Sharita. We will I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from November 22nd, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Entertain a second. Sharita, please call the roll.
Alderman Boyd.
So there's no reason for you to be up
Could
there.
you guys please turn the other meeting off, please? Thank you. All right, go ahead, Sharita.
Alderman Boyd. Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderman Bacoro.
Aye.
Alderman Coder. Alderwoman Boyd.
Aye.
Alderman Muhammad. Alderman Oldenburg.
Aye.
Alderwoman Martin. Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. Chairman Balmer.
Aye.
Alderman Coder. Alderman Muhammad. Alderwoman Martin. Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. 7
Here.
ayes.
Sorry, can I be an aye? I apologize. I couldn't get off mute.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. We're approving the minutes.
Aye. I'm sorry.
That's okay. 9 ayes.
All right, Sharita, thank you very much. We will hold excuse Alderman until the end of the meeting. Before us today will be Board Bill 181, sponsored by Mr. Oldenburg. We will then let you take over. Alderman Oldenburg, please take over.
Excellent. Mr. Chairman, if it's all right, I'd like to just put the board bill officially in front of us and then give a quick primer of it. And then we have some guest speakers here, Mr. Rich Sikora from the counselor's office and folks from the Trash Task Force, Detective McTeer's group that I'd love to give some context. And then I'd be happy to come back for questions on the bill itself. But committee members can certainly ask any questions of our speakers as they present too. So with that, I move that we put Board Bill 181 in front of the Legislation Committee.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have moved and seconded. Sharita, please call the roll.
Previous roll.
Okay, we have a previous roll. Hearing no objection, we will now proceed with Board Bill 181.
Thank you,
Please
Mr.
proceed,
Chairman.
Alderman.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Board Bill 181 proposes to increase the maximum fine from $500 to $1,000, specifically where it is assessed for violations of the city ordinances regarding illegal dumping, dumping of waste, debris, or other prohibited refuse. Specifically, this is the prolific problem we've seen in our city the last few years around alley dumping. Contractors, businesses, as well as others dumping illegally on both private and public property of their trash and refuse. Within the last 3 or 4 years, the Trash Task Force, or the Environmental Investigation Unit, has done yeoman's work to as well, in concert with the city counselor's office and the streets department and other city departments, to kind of corral this effort Just to give you an idea, in 2021 alone, there were over almost 1,800 calls for service associated with this. So that's about an average of 5 calls a day that report illegal dumping. So this is a concerted effort that's being made by the police department in conjunction with the other city departments to help curb and abate, as well as catch, and rectify and make sure that there's not repeat offenders. So with that being said, there's a good amount of information I put in the Google Drive, or that Mr. Clerk has put in the Google Drive, regarding the 2021 report that the Environmental Investigation Unit has done. I encourage you all to take a look at that. There's some staggering statistics that evidence how prolific this problem is, as well as how the city is begin to sort of rectify it. But there's more to do. So in conversations with both Mr. Sikora and Lieutenant McTier's team, a few tools that could help, in addition to more detectives, but that's not part of this conversation. But something that could help is if we could increase the maximum fine that's charged. As you all know, our city charter limits the maximum fine for city ordinance violations to $500. Thus, we find ourselves in the legislation committee with this piece of legislation because we are this bill provides that we further ask the voters in a city election for a proposed charter change to increase that. Now, just to give you quick context, this has been attempted, as you all, I'm sure, are familiar with, I think 7 or 8 times in the past, specifically, or actually broadly, rather, just to all municipal ordinance violations. The distinction, or the innovation rather, in this board bill is that it specifically hones in on just unauthorized and illegal dumping. Whereas in the past, I think folks and voters have been reticent to vote in favor of fine increases for code violations, thinking that if their grass isn't cut every couple of weeks, that they'd be paying or shelling out $1,000 a month. So I think this hopes to ameliorate that concern, where it specifically hones in on just the municipal charge or the ordinance violation of illegal dumping as defined in the ordinance. Also, if you turn your attention to the board bill, where the ballot language, the proposed ballot language reads, it's nothing tricky there. No yes is no, no is yes type of a phrasing. It's pretty straightforward around illegal dumping. So with that, I'd love to parlay this conversation into some of the expert speakers we have that can give you some context around this problem and how they see this potential board bill, or this increase in maximum being virtuous. So I don't know who wants to start first. Mr. Sikora, is it okay if you kind of go forward and maybe give a broad brush around how you in your office have been attacking this problem and how this might go?
All right, thank you, Elmer. But I believe, Rich, you're familiar with, we have to have you avow or swear, or whatever you choose, that the testimony you're going to be giving here is the truth. So would you testify to that, sir?
I do, so help me God.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Thank you, Alderman.
Yeah.
I'm usually in court.
Please.
I'm usually in court.
Please state your name first for the record.
It's Richard Sikora. I'm the attorney manager in the municipal prosecutions area of the city councilor's office. I do handle the environmental investigative unit prosecutions myself. I work closely with Detective Zermalin, Lieutenant McAteer, and the other environmental investigative unit detectives in issuing these cases. Just a little bit of context, and I want to clarify something that the Alderman said. I think that the charter amendment is written so that this will impact not only the ordinance violation of illegal dumping, but it will also impact the other environmental investigative unit type crimes of prohibited refuse, waste tire disposal, those types of things. So, but any of those environmental investigative unit dumping type charges would be impacted by this amendment. Last year, the city councilor's office reviewed about 640 of these charges, and we issued 631 of them. We were successful in getting about 310 of those adjudications over the last 12 months, and the remainder, will come in as those people show up. A lot of people show up, do not come to court, and they've gone bench warrant, or their cases have been continued into the new year. in all those cases where the person shows up, we are limited to what the ordinance is currently allow, and that's up to a $500 fine. Some of the times, somebody's just come along, they've gone into the back of their trunk and they've dumped a single bag of trash, and it probably, it'll get a $500 fine. Maybe I might, depending on the circumstance, reduce that to a lower fine. But there are multiple occasions where I would love to be able to fine, and they are probably deserving of higher fines. You wouldn't believe the pickup truck's load of construction debris that get dumped on the side of our alleys, or you probably would believe it because you see it in your wards. And so I think that this bill allowing for the charter amendment to go to the voters, and if the voters see fit, would be helpful to holding those persons accountable so that they do not repeat and recidivize their crimes. It seems to be a big problem that we are doing our best with the $500 fine and the 3 days jail time that can be imposed. In lieu of the 3 days jail time, I'll be honest with you, they don't put a lot of people on municipal offenses in our jail system anymore. But we do 40 hours of community service in lieu of those 3 days jail time. That seems like a fair amount. The defendants actually hate that. They hate having to take their time and do the community service, and our probation office runs that and has those persons pick up litter in the area of town where they were doing their crime. I can hand it off to Officer Zermalin if you'd like to, or Detective Zermalin if you'd like to say anything. I can answer as many questions as you'd like.
Okay, we'll hold the questions till the end, Rich, if that's okay with you.
Very good.
And I believe we have Officer McAteer is the gentleman with us, I believe. Correct?
Oh, I think
No,
his camera.
It's me, Richard Zermulin, Lieutenant.
Okay, I
Mac-
didn't.
here. Yes.
You're on my next page. Okay, there you are. All right, Rich. If you could, sir, you just need to, before you speak, state your name for the record, and then do you swear that everything that you are going to testify to here is the truth, sir?
Richard Zermulin, and yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
I just wanted to thank everyone for letting us be here again today on this important topic. As we discussed back in January at the previous meeting, a few things that would really help us out in environmental investigations, one of which would be the increase of the fines for illegal dumping and the other related charges. We do see a lot of repeat offenders in the system. Each week that I do our spreadsheet, I note that I see the same names here and there. I quickly did a run this morning and looked, and we saw about 34 repeat offenders in 2021. And those offenders had multiple cases. So if they're showing up to court, I know Rich is doing a great job at doing the maximum fine allowed under the city right now. So increasing this amount to $1,000 would just be another tool in our toolbox to really eliminate illegal dumping and the charges that come with it. We see a lot of rehabbers or contractors dumping from a business. So if we're able to give them $1,000 fine on that, maybe that would outweigh their charge eventually of them not renting a dumpster, which I think is what their mindset is it's cheaper to pay the fine than it is to get a commercial dumpster. So if we can kind of, balance that more in our favor and get the fine higher so that they say, well, it'd be easier to go to the city dump or go to a private contractor dump, however they can do it. It'd be cheaper that way than paying the fine. And that's kind of what the end goal is for us. The contractors, I think, kind of hit us the hardest, the people that are doing the renos and just walking out to the back and dumping it in the dumpsters. That's what I see a lot of on the Citizen Service Bureau complaints. I just looked this morning. I think there's 3 new ones about construction rehabbers using the city dumpsters right behind the house, or like Rich said, filling up a whole pickup truck and going down an alley and just dumping it in a vacant lot. If we can track those guys down and see who they're working for and charge the owner or the main contractor as well that $1,000, I think it would really significantly put a slowdown on the amount of dumping we see. It's just, I think it's a great idea to increase this fine. It's gonna be really helpful for us. And I appreciate all of you considering this bill.
All right, thank you very much. And then we will go to Officer McAteer.
No, he's out today.
Oh,
It was just
okay.
me.
He's on the list there, so I figured maybe he come. Okay. no
I'm
worries
at
then.
his desk right now.
All right. What we'll do is we'll open up the questions. I'll start off with Alderman Boyd. You have any questions of either Rich or Mike? Alderman Boyd still with us?
I believe he's muted.
There you go. Unmute yourself, Jeffrey. Oh, Jeff. It's like a bad Italian movie. His lips are moving, but I don't hear anything. Jeffrey, unmute yourself. Well, until he figures it out. Alderman Davis, you have any
on
questions?
the Capitol,
There he is. Hold on.
all
Okay.
caps thing.
Alderman Boyd.
He may be working on the other meeting that you have going on.
All right. Alderman Davis, any questions? All right. she's
No,
probably-
sir, I don't have any questions. I'm just glad to see this coming forward. And I'm sure our community will pass this. We've got to clean our city up and we got to stop these folks who choose to disrespect it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Carl.
Is my name on this already?
It's not
I don't-
currently, Alderman. No, I haven't sought co-sponsorship, but I'd be happy
Well,
to add you.
Yeah, please add me. In fact, what I'd like to do, unless there's an objection, is make a motion that we do it in bank out of committee. And that's it.
I have no objection. If you hear any objection from the committee?
No,
Second on that, no objection.
All right. With that, Sharita, you can prepare the board bill that way. Hopefully it'll pass out.
So noted.
And so I'm good. Thank you.
All right. No other questions? All right. Alderman Coder, any questions of,
No questions.
all right. Thank you, sir. Alderwoman Boyd, any questions or comments?
No questions. Thank you.
All right. Alderman Muhammad, I don't believe is with us.
I am, Mr.
Oh,
Chairman,
there
but
you are. You showed up. Okay, go ahead. Any questions, sir?
I did. I have no questions, but I am here.
All right. Thank you, sir. Alderman Oldenburg, hold your questions till later.
Mr.
Alderman Martin, I don't believe you're with us. All right. Alderwoman Middlebrook, any questions or comments?
I have no questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alderman Clark Hubbard, questions or comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any questions. I just can't wait to see this on the ballot, and I will have plenty of pictures for our literature.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I have no questions or comments. Gentlemen,
Mr. Chairman.
Mike, thank you very much. Oh, you're back with us, Alderman Boyd?
Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
Okay.
I would like to be
Thanks
added
for
as a
joining us, sir.
I'm doing double and triple duty. Still
All
got
right.
streets going.
Okay.
I want to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
We took
Oh,
care
you
of that.
did?
We're doing
Thank
this on bank out of committee.
Oh, okay. Fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Alderman Middlebrook, do you had your hand up or is it that back down? Okay.
No, it was a mistake. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. All right, with that, I will let Alderman Oldenburg close.
Excellent. I don't think there's really any more to add here, so I move that the committee votes to pass Board Bill 181 out with the do pass recommendation.
Second. Previous-
Okay, I heard previous roll. Any objection, previous roll?
Objection.
All right, the Alderman from the 21st, the late arrival, would like to have his name on the vote. No worries. Sharita, please call the roll.
Alderman Boyd,
Aye.
Alderwoman Davis,
Aye.
Alderman Vaccaro,
See here. Aye.
Alderman Coder,
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd,
Aye.
Alderman Muhammad,
Aye.
Alderman Oldenburg,
Aye.
Alderwoman Martin, Alderwoman Middlebrook,
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard,
Aye.
Chairman Ballmer.
Aye.
10 aye votes.
All right, with your vote, we have successfully passed out Board Bill 181 with a due pass recommendation to go back to the floor.
Excellent.
And with that, I thank you for your time. We will go through and excuse the Alderman from the 11th for necessary absence. I believe with that, we will make a motion to adjourn.
So
Entertain that
moved.
motion.
So moved.
All right.
Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Everyone get back to your wonderful streets meeting. It's been a pleasure seeing you.
Thanks.
Thank you.